everybody? Happy Friday. Tony Schmaltz here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit tonight about your subconscious and how much your subconscious gets messed with every single day, and you don't even realize it's happening. You might think about it later and go, ah, they got me, but you don't think about it when it's happening. And before I get into that, make sure you check out my blog at tonyschmaltz.net, or check out my YouTube channel, Tony Schmaltz's YouTube channel, and there's some good information there. So back to the subconscious. So each and every day, whether it's a radio commercial, whether it's us going to a car lot, walking through the grocery store, there's things intended to mess with our minds, to mess with our subconscious. So right now, what if I told you, don't you dare think about an elephant? Don't you dare think about an elephant. Guess what? You just did, didn't you? Because you have to think about the thing that I'm telling you not to think about before you can stop thinking about it. As soon as somebody says elephant, you're like, oh, there's an elephant right in my head. And this happens day in and day out. And let's say you walk into an electronics store. Let's say you walk into Best Buy and you're looking at laptops. And you're like, oh man, you're walking around, the guy comes up and helps you. Now, Best Buy doesn't necessarily have the greatest salesman, so maybe not the best example, but you'll understand what I'm getting. So you're looking at a laptop here and you're like, man, I really like this. It's got all the features I want. And, you know, salesman comes up to you and he's like, oh man, I see you're looking at this laptop. So what do you like about this? He's like, I like this, I like that, I like this. And you know, you're naming everything, everything's hitting your check marks, everything's hitting right on the money. You're like, God, boom, 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 the RAM, the speed, the screen size, blah, blah, blah. And the guy looks at you and he's like, you don't want that. Immediately, you hear this, the reverse psychology that happens there, and the trigger the negative trigger that actually triggers your positive response to go, wait, now I want it more. Just because you told me I don't want it, it's like, no, that's everything I want. What are you talking about? That's laptops for me. What are you talking about? And people push those buttons on and off. I mean, it used to happen to me all the time. I mean, one of the biggest things that messes with people's minds is when they think they're getting a good deal, or when they know they're getting a good deal. It's the one that used to happen to me all the time. I'm a sucker for fishing gear. I mean, I've been a fisherman for a lot of years. Fortunately, I don't know any of the local shops real well here in Florida yet, but back in Washington, you know, a place called Auburn Sports and Marine, man, they were notorious. They would get me every time. I'd walk in there for just some weights and hooks and walk out with the rod and reel. I mean, it was horrible. It was because they'd get me every time. And I look back now and I know what they were doing, but you know, at the time you don't think about it. Like I'd walk up and I'd look at this new rod and reel. I'm like, oh man, check that puppy out. I'd catch some salmon with that. And I look at the guy who I've known for years and years. And I'm like, hey, Bill, how much for this? He's like, well, it's brand new. You know, regular price is $4.99, but for you today, it's $3.99. And you're like, yeah, $3.99. All right. You know, in reality, the guy's still making a killing on it, and he's got his price point where he knows he can go. In your mind, you're thinking you're getting an amazing deal. And so you're like, yeah, I'm going to jump on this. Our subconscious. Every day, I want you to start paying attention. Start listening to some of the commercials. Go, I just triggered that emotion. You know, you're listening to a radio station. You hear this commercial come on, and it's about an ice cream place. And it's something about how they describe the ice cream. The ice cream is so soft as it hits your mouth, it melts and the flavors explode, and you're like, I want some ice cream now. Or something along those lines. You know, the descriptions that they use. They get in your head. And so when you pay attention to that, it still doesn't prevent you from falling into the trap, but at least you can recognize it. And so most people don't realize that the subconscious is there all the time. And the biggest one is when you think you're getting a good deal. That is the one that hits most people on the head, is when you think you're getting a sweet deal for something. And many times you are getting a sweet deal for something. I mean, you don't realize it, or you don't know it. And they could be giving you a really good deal. But regardless, you pulled the trigger because your mind's telling you you're getting a good deal, whether it is or not. The subconscious. Don't you think about what 2 + 2 equals? God, got you again. You thought about it, didn't you? You did. So anyway, so I got to get out of here for today, but I've got for today, I've got this package deal on attraction marketing. This thing usually goes for $47, and today I can offer it for $1 on a 3-piece package on attraction marketing. If you want that, drop me a yes please below or direct message me, and have a great weekend, everyone.